There's a young man who is a construction worker and he's working on the construction of masjid, of a big grand mosque. And at the completion of the construction of this masjid, the Sultan who ordered the construction of the masjid, who wanted all the construction workers to leave. And the reason is because his daughter has asked him, this is the princess, the Sultan's daughter, she made a special request that after the construction of the big, beautiful masjid finished, she wanted to be the first one to go into that masjid and pray 2 rakats in the musalla with no one else there. So this was the request of the princess. The construction workers leave, and this one construction worker, he was falling behind, he was late, and he didn't realize that everyone else had already left, and they had allowed the princess into the masjid to go pray. So as he's leaving, he catches a glimpse of the princess inside the masala of the masjid praying 2 rakat of Naflan, and the scene was too and so incredible to him. It was such an amazing scene, and he basically just fell in love with the princess. This was a very beautiful image to him, and he fell in love with her and became more than that. He became infatuated with her. So when he came home, he told his mother about what happened. He said, "You have to go to the Sultan and ask for the princess' hand marriage." And the mother said, "I can't do that. You're a construction worker. No one, the construction gonna have his daughter marry you." But his construction worker became infatuated and he couldn't work, he couldn't think, he couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep. He was just in a miserable state. And the mother, out of fearing for her son and his well-being, she realized that if she doesn't do something, he might die because infusing food and water is the point. So she goes to the palace and she asks to speak to the Sultan, and the guards turned her away. And his assistant, she says, "My son is going to die. I have to talk to the Sultan." So finally, they let her talk to the Sultan, and she mentioned the story to the Sultan, and the Sultan asked that she come back with a construction worker. So they come back together, and he tells the construction worker, after everyone leaves the masjid at night time after Isha prayer, you have to come and pray Qiyam in this masjid for 40 nights. If you come and pray Qiyam in this masjid for 40 nights straight, I will let you marry my daughter. And he said, there will be someone there to make sure that you come. And if you miss a day, we'll know about it. So in 40 days, if you fulfill your end of the bargain, I'll let you consider my daughter for marriage. So the construction worker is decided, this is a chance at life. So he goes the first day, he prays Qiyam in the masjid after everyone leaves, and he goes the second day and the third. And after a few weeks, he noticed that he's getting better. He's eating again, he's drinking again, he cares about life again. And eventually, he starts to really, really enjoy coming to the masjid and praying when everyone else has left, to such an extent that he starts to pray to Allah. Allah never takes away these beautiful moments that he has with him, along with solitude, praying to him at night. So 40 days pass, 50 days pass, 60 days pass, 70 days pass, and eventually the Sultan asked to see the construction worker, and he says, "How come you didn't come see me to fulfill your end of the bargain? You prayed all 40 nights. We saw that you prayed. How come you didn't come see me?" And the construction worker turns to the Sultan and he says, "Before I saw your daughter, my heart was empty. And the first thing of beauty that my heart was exposed to was your daughter, and that's why it grabbed onto that experience. But then after I started praying the masjid for 40 nights, my heart witnessed a beauty that was much greater than her. My heart witnessed a beauty that it has never felt before." He tells the Sultan, he goes on to say, "Thank you so much for offering me your daughter to consider, but I am happy where I am and I'm in no need of her." And he goes on his way. And he doesn't marry the princess because he had found a love and a beauty and a happiness that was much greater than just seeing the princess at one time. And this was the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the beauty of a close relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is something that only the one who has experienced it can really talk about it, or can even try to talk about it. It doesn't do it justice, and does not enjoy the journey of his life, will not enjoy the journey of the next life. The scholars talked about what it means. Life so much and is pleased with the Lord, and Allah loves his servant so much and is pleased with servant. This is mentioned in the is referring to companions, but it's a mutual relationship of love with the Creator. When we talked about the categories of sweetest Amen, to love Allah more than we love everyone and anything else, including ourselves, is something that brings the sweetness of Iman. How could loving someone other than myself brings happiness? Only when it's Allah